Okay, so I am going to show you how to do the top part of my hats that have the hole for the ponytail to go through. And I'd never used any waste yarn starting my hats. I find it not necessary. It's just a wasted step. The only time I can see using waste yarn is if you're making socks. Then I can see that. But obviously anybody who has a circular machine already knows how to cast on. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. You want to make sure on the first needle your yarn goes in front, and then you weave in and out every other one. And you want to make sure you end up in front of your first black needle. If you didn't, then you have to go back and you skipped a needle. Just lock it in place. I reset my counter. Because the row that I'm currently doing right now is my first row. Okay, I pull on the tail like that, and that's it. And then you just crank. I'm doing a reversible hat, so I do 70 rows on the first color. And I'm using the Red Heart brand. This is the one I'm using. And this one's stripes. Newsprint, which is the gray, white shades. And then I'm going to use this one for the second, which is Red Heart Super Saver, light gray. And you find the Red Heart yarns everywhere. Joann Fabrics, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. I prefer going to either Joann Fabrics or Hobby Lobby because they have a large collection of yarn. But preferably seek out a local yarn store is even better because you can find better yarn there. But this one, the Red Heart yarn, I find has been going through the machines the easiest. Especially the solid colors, I've had more success versus your patterned yarns. So I will get back to you when I get to the end of this hat. Enjoy. Talk to you later. Okay, I wanted to show you this. I had a stitch almost get caught where it will go under with this thread. So all I did was back it up a little bit. And this is why I have this. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's actually for picking stickers off. I've seen these at other stores for like $7 for the same one. And I just pick it back and put it on the teeth. Because you don't want these stitches to go under and get caught, because then you can end up slipping the stitch or snagging, and then it gets tight on you. A whole list of problems. I just wanted to show that to you and point it out to any of you that are having issues. Just if you catch it, sometimes you don't catch it and it goes all the way around. I just watch for it to come around, and before I get to this point, I'll pick the yarn up and slip it back on the teeth. It's not a complicated fix. Talk to you later. Okay, another problem I run into, sometimes for some reason this part of your yarn slips off the needle before it goes down, and it throws that top yarn off. So I pick it up, put it back on the needle, put it on the threads, and slip this back where it's supposed to go. Voila, fixed. This one's an older one. I've had it since 2016. The counter is still fairly working. I started having issues. I'm going to order a magnet counter to put on here. That way I don't have to worry about if this quits on me. So I started having issues with this one because of the age. And the only major issue that started falling apart on me is the counter and the black ring here started cracking when you put the screws in. That's why I have a washer on this one. Part of it broke off, so the plastic's been cracking. Other than that, I really don't have any complaints with the Addy. I love it. And talk to you later in a moment, folks. Okay, folks, I'm at the point where I'm doing my color change. Where I stopped was just before this the first black needle. I cut it and just let it drape down. Now the first black needle is going to start my next round for the next color. Just hook it on, let it drape down, lock it into place. I take it around one time. As soon as I get past the two ends, I tie them together. I always knot my work up 3 times because this way I know it's not going to come apart. One of my friends that is a professional at doing embroidery work showed me how to do that one. I leave them a little bit long because this is reversible. It's going to be double layered. So I just leave them hanging. Nobody's going to see it. They're going to be in between the layers. This way I know it's not going to fall apart. I try to make my hats where they can handle an abuse from a kid. That way I know they'll last. Another thing I do as I'm knitting, I roll this up. I'm not using any weights on this one because I'm not having too many issues on this one. I had one brand of yarn. It got really bad at dropping stitches on here. And I had a bunch of weight on. Still was having issues. So, yes, it does matter what kind of yarn you send through your machine. And onward. I will get back to you when I get to the end of this and show you how I do the ponytail hole. Okay, folks. I'm on my last couple stitches here. And see what I mean by it gets tight towards the end. This is my last one. Take it out. Now, I don't cut it at this. I take it around because it's going to make it easier to take it off. I'm going to stop right there. Because this is going to be my first black needle that comes up. I stop right here because this way I'm not going to pop this one off. Because if I pop this one off and lose that stitch, I can undo my whole row. Now this is where I pick up my stitches off the machine, and I will show you this process for those of you that just started doing this. When I get past probably 10 of them, I'll start picking them up, like 5 at a time or more, to speed it up. But I'm always aware of this one on this end to make sure that doesn't come off. And I don't get in a hurry with these. So it's not about speed, it's about quality. Take your time, folks, when you're doing something, because then you're going to make less mistakes. And you're actually going faster when you take your time with something, because if you making a bunch of mistakes, then you're constantly having to go back over your work again and again. And it will take longer. And these days, I see way too many people getting in a hurry, or they just don't wait. Well, at this point, take my needle off right now. I straighten it out. This one's gonna have the ponytail. See how that came out? Nice, clean edging. And like I said, you can reverse it. So at this point, if I was making a regular hat, I would just pull both of these like that, and then stitch it in, and my hat be done. But because I want the hole for someone to put ponytail, this one I never measure. I just kind of eyeball it, and that's about the size I leave it at. And this is why doing that last row, when you're taking your stitches off, you start off with that one stitch, because you go pull it to close it. And that's another reason why I don't use waste yarn doing this, because I would have had to sit there and clip off my waste yarn, and I don't like you doing that, because then you stand the risk of cutting one of these threads, and there goes your work. Now, I had someone on my Facebook page suggest I try putting elastic in here. Maybe next time I'll play around with it and see what comes up, because I can probably put weave a strand of elastic in here. We'll see. But at this point, that's about how big I'm going to leave it. I tie these two same way I did the when I did the color change. Now you don't want to pull it too much or you're going to close it up. I put my needle back on, both of them. Okay. I will put the needle through 2 loops, wrap it around 3 times. This will give me my knot. Even though I tied it up, this is going to secure it. And just pull it tight. Now, to get this to blend in, I flick a close row to it. And I send it on through in between the layers. I have my hand in here. I'm feeling for the needle to make sure the needle doesn't go through both layers. See? Just pop it out and pull. Let's go blend that knot in so you don't see the knot. I'll pull a little bit, clip it, stretch on it a little bit, and that's just gonna disappear. See? And there you go. That's how I make the holes for the ponytails, hats, and it's reversible. So and there you go, folks. Don't be scared to create. What you can do on these machines is endless. And I will talk to y'all later. I did this video for a Facebook group I'm in. Somebody asked how I did that. And there's really no pattern to follow. like when you're doing the needles. You can start getting fancy on these, because there's a couple videos out there that shows you how to do other stitches on here. I haven't gone exploring into that yet. That's later down the line. That's all for today, and I will talk to you later.